Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
I'm still kind of feeling the Family Feud loss a little bit on this Monday. Like I kind of took that into the weekend with me, and it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel good.
I love hearing that.
There's a lot of manipulation going on.
Did you hear what he just fucking said, Dallas?
No. Stop.
Yeah, of course I heard what he said.
Stop with the excuses.
That's
right off
crazy.
The bat, Dallas. Just what Jared's saying is that it was there for the taking, and he did not take it, and that's why it was still with him, not because it was nefarious.
Oh no, I took it. Yeah, it was another outstanding performance by me.
I did great too in the confines.
I'm excited for Thursday. I'm excited to redeem ourselves and to get back on the horse, the proverbial horse. But I digress, because today's a big day. Let's not talk about Thursday yet. Let's handle Monday first. Monday, we have Jackson Holliday on the podcast.
Boom.
Yeah.
How about it?
Jackson Holliday, the offspring of your former teammate Matthew Holliday.
Correct. Father.
Yes. Yeah. Who could forget his Oakland A's tenure? I mean, that when I think Matt Holliday, I think Oakland A's.
Everybody does. That's where it started.
Truly is. Yeah. Yeah. I should have asked him if he thought his dad was safe.
Ooh. You think he get an honest answer?
No, probably not. But
well, he probably tells you, well, he was called safe.
Yeah. I mean, he like went like chin first. If I remember correctly, he went like chin first. It was against the Padres, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chin first into home plate. And sometimes you got to go chin first. I get it. It is what it is. I'm going to, you know what? Because it's such a high profile guest today, I think I'm going to talk about underdog fantasy, and then I think I'm just going to get right into Jackson Holliday. Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably here just for Jackson Holliday. So, I mean, who am I to deprive them of Jackson? I won't do it. I refuse to do it, actually.
Don't be a Jackson jacker.
Just like I refuse to use any other app besides the Underdog Fantasy app. Because it is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. All you have to do is just see who I chose that day. And you're probably going to win. It's really simple. Really, really, really simple. I'll probably throw some picks out today, Jayhay. Yeah, I would say after this recording, throw some picks together, sauce them over.
That's the best thing I've heard since you were sad about the Family Feud loss.
Yeah. What a day. What a banner day for Justin Havens.
We're off to a great start right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just living the dream, brother. Living that dream. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. And a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Jared. Our company meeting is what, Thursday? Thursday for the company meeting. I think I'm going to stand up at this meeting and sing the praises of Justin Havens. I am.
Why are you going to do that?
Why wouldn't I do it? There's if not for you, I mean, the people don't get their pick'ems, and if the people don't get their pick'ems, they're not winning money.
Well, that's fair. That might be the most important thing I do.
Correct.
Other than the Nuggs.
Correct.
Award-winning
Nuggs and hosting Family Feud, which a lot of people look forward to every week.
And the Baines meter.
Meter.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what else they look forward to? Jackson Holliday interviews. And who am I to waste anyone else's time talking about ball when we could be talking to Jackson Holliday? So without further ado, Jackson Holliday. All right, we got Jackson Holliday of the Baltimore Orioles. And I think for the first time in a player interview, the first question will go to a co-host, not the player. Dallas, how weird is it for you that you will be interviewing the son of a former teammate right now?
Well, I'll start here. I have not had the opportunity. And you know what? I should probably even rewind there, because there has been an opportunity for me to go down and meet Jackson. Jackson is a very busy individual. Jackson is an individual who prioritizes his work. Mm-hmm. And I am an individual who doesn't like to go down on the field in Baltimore in the middle of the summer and sweat my fucking ass off. So those are two definite facts about the two of us. So this will be the first time that I'm actually speaking to Jackson where he is in a position where he can speak full sentences back to me. And that's, I think, what's really cool. And it's not that Jackson grew up with hearing stories. Well, you know, on the bus every day, you and Dad. That's not what it was. It was, hey, Jackson was a little guy. His dad was, I don't want to call it at a low point in his career, but his dad was with the A's. His dad had to play on my team. And so that's where we first met. Jackson, I don't know if you're any better at fishing than you were then. You didn't do much. You didn't do much to help us out then on the fishing game, but here we are now. And how you have grown, my man. It is great to see you.
Good to see you.
I want to know what went into the design of the lab. And when I say the lab, I mean when your father decided that he was just going to build a shed off the back of his house and lock you and your brother in this shed and only let you out to feed and to get fresh air. Like, at what point in time was it just written in the stars? Little dudes, you guys are going to the big leagues. Like, what was your first memory of playing baseball?
Oh, man. I think my first memory is probably in Colorado. I mean, I have some like vivid kind of memories of being a young kid in Colorado and playing on my first travel team. And but I think this has kind of always been my dream, is to play baseball. I never really had another plan besides playing baseball. I mean, I played basketball and soccer growing up, but once I got to high school, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what I really am going to commit to. But yeah, ever since I was a little kid, this is kind of the passion that I had. And I told people whenever I was doing my draft stuff that I only had one plan A, and I was to play baseball in the big leagues. And it worked out. But yeah, the shed got built. I think 2 years ago, my parents bought it. And whenever we lived in Florida and built a house out there, but it had a basketball court in it. And during COVID, my dad was obsessed with playing pickup basketball almost every single day. And so that happened. And then he got addicted to pickleball. So he taped off pickleball courts. And then he built a pickleball court in there. And I'm like, well, me and Ethan are trying to be professional baseball players. Can put a cage in it. And so we put a cage in there. And so now we got our world and his world. So we get the cage and he's got the pickleball. So it's very, very awesome tool to have back home and very accessible. And me and my wife actually live in part of the barn has an apartment in it. So
okay,
it's like 2K. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, so the truth is out though. This had absolutely, and I'm sorry to break your heart, Jackson, because now it's the truth has come out. This had nothing to do about your growth independently as a baseball player. This had everything to do with your dad trying to hoop it up again. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. I mean, I have seen the guy jump. I know what his vert looks like. It's non-existent. So I'm not sure who he's fooling there. Pickleball, I can understand him maybe trying to slow it down a little and give himself a shot against you and your brother. How did that work out? Did you just instantly start whooping his ass and now he wants off the pickleball court? He wants to do something else.
He's so unbelievably competitive that he needs something to do, and golf isn't the sport for him. So yeah, like during COVID, he started playing pickleball with some of his buddies, and they had nothing going on, and now it's turned into an obsession. And he's actually really good. I mean, he plays everywhere he comes to watch us play. He's in Annapolis playing pickleball, or goes to Atlanta. He's playing in Atlanta. So he's very, very hooked on pickleball, and he's actually pretty good at it.
He's serviceable. So he's not a scrub.
Oh no. He's good. He can hang with some pretty good players. So it's pretty funny to watch. He'll just disappear for 3 hours and he's just playing pickleball. So that's what he loves to do.
You mentioned golf. Obviously having a big league dad who brought you around the clubhouse and the buses and everything like that. You know, you probably go golfing with Cal Ripken Jr. being a part of the Orioles family now because of the way that you were raised and the experiences that you've had for your entire life. Is it possible for you to not get starstruck, but be like, oh shit, like that's Cal. Like, or like, do you still get that feeling? Like, if you were to walk up to like Ken Griffey Jr., is it just like, hey, what's up, man? Or is it like, oh shit, like that's the kid?
I don't know. I think it would have to be outside of baseball. I think growing up in baseball, I mean, obviously it's an incredible honor to be able to go play golf with Cal Ripken and be able to meet guys like Ken Griffey but I think it would have to be outside of baseball, maybe like Stephen Curry, or right now Scotty Scheffler would probably be one up there for me. But yeah, we got to go play with Cal last off day, and it was a whole lot of fun. We stuck Cowser in the car with him, so he probably never wants to go golfing with us again. But it was a lot of fun.
So I was talking to Cowser the other day because you guys were at Fenway, and I was watching you guys take BP, and I was sitting in the red seat, and I took a video like sitting in the red seat, and then zoomed in on home plate, and I just had the caption of like, "There's just no way. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no way." And Cowser was like, "We were talking about this during BP the other day. Where do you stand? Like, having just been to Fenway, where do you stand on the red seat? Is it possible? Did it happen?"
I don't know. I remember after my debut, we all went out on the field and we were looking out there, and we were thinking like what golf club we would have to hit from home plate. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen some really far balls get hit at Camden. No one's come close to the warehouse, so I don't know. I think it's probably something that you had to see in person, but some of the strongest guys I know can't hit the ball that far in BP. I don't know. Maybe in a game, the right wind, who knows?
No.
But
no. You can just say no. The answer is no. It's
well,
not. It's not
I'll tell you this: you go outside and watch old Nick Kurtz take BP next time the green and gold are in town.
Yeah,
no. Jackson.
That might be one of the guys.
David Ortiz, in his prime, went out there with an aluminum bat and tried to hit the red seat. Yeah, did not come close.
Oh, I was talking about the warehouse. I wasn't talking red seat power. I was talking about the warehouse.
Okay.
We've had that idea with trying to get a drop 5 or a Beezer and trying to hit the Windows warehouse.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Haven't gotten
See,
that
I would pay money for that. I would pay money to watch you dudes roll out a -5 and just absolutely start breaking glass 1,000 feet away. That's entertainment.
I'm in. Early word.
That is entertainment.
You guys entered play. The Orioles entered play on May 30th, 19-36 through 55 games. Since then, a 75 game sample. You are 41-34, which is tied for the 6th best record in baseball with the Tigers, who are likely October bound, and the Cubs, who are likely October bound. Does it feel like, this season was just a tale of like a bad start, but you still feel like you're a playoff team? Like, I picked the Orioles to win the division coming into this season. Like, what's the mentality in the clubhouse? Like, when you show up to the yard every day, is it more like, we know we're good? Like, I know what the standings say, but we know that we're basically rolling out a playoff team?
Yeah, I think that's the vibe for sure. I mean, we have a bunch of really good players, and I think we've battled a lot of injuries. Obviously, most of our players have gotten hurt at some point in the year, and that's tough to make a good run, especially early in the year. We've had some injuries with Cowser and Westy and 2 main guys in the middle of our order. And I think it's tough to kind of rebound from a bad start, especially when you go through injuries throughout the middle of the year as well. So I know we have a really good team, and I know we have a lot of confidence going to the field that we have a chance to win every game. And we've done a pretty good job of kind of bouncing back and building off our slow start. And like I said, we have a bunch of really good players. So it was only a matter of time before we started winning more than we started losing. So, but yeah, that's a good example of how we feel going into each game.
What has been, you just mentioned something that caught my ear, the struggles and the rebound. And you, my friend, are every bit of the reason that this team is having success and is going to have any kind of success moving forward. And I think there has been a big shift, a big jump in how you have been able to approach this season as opposed to last season. And I'm always curious with young guys, and especially young elite talent like yourself, my man. what the adjustment period was like and what you now, I don't want to say on the other side of the adjustments, because we know how much you have to adjust day in and day out in this game. But what has been, if there's one or a couple things that caught your attention the next time around that you say to yourself, you know what, that was a part of the game that I just wasn't sure about until I had to feel it. And now that you're on the other side of that, what has helped you get through those moments?
Yeah, I think just finding something that I'm comfortable with in my swing. Obviously, I was a big leg kick guy coming into the minor leagues and into my debut and the first few months. And I mean, if you look around, there's guys like Yelich and Harper who had giant leg kicks, and now they're going to a toe tap because I mean, guys throw so hard and their stuff moves everywhere, and it's tough to time everything up all at once. And for me, it's just to have a little bit more adjustability in my load and my timing with the toe tap. And it helped me kind of cut down on swing and miss and pitches in the zone, because that's kind of where you got to make your money is mistakes by the pitcher, because they're all really, really good. And that's something that I'm still learning on, how to control kind of what they want to do and reel it in kind of what I want to do. I mean, I know down and away, there's probably 0 expected slug, and I continue to swing at pitches down and away and hit at second baseman. So I'm trying to continue to learn on how to make adjustments and talking to hitters. And but that's kind of the main thing. It's just finding a swing that's comfortable for me and know that it works and trusting it. And I've been able to talk to guys like Gunnar and go around the league and pick guys' brains on how they approach hitting lefties, and just trying to get as much information that I can and apply it to my game.
Can we dig in on a little bit on those adjustments too? Because you started to hit on something that I was particularly interested in, which is basically, of all the players that got any amount of playing time last season and have been regulars this season, you have the largest drop in strikeout rate from 24 to 25. You touched on some of that. You also have one of the 10 largest drops in ground ball rate of that same sample of players. Like, can you, as someone who didn't play at that level, can you kind of without giving away the secret sauce, walk us through a little bit, like how you approach sort of like a double change like that, or are those incidental? Is one leading to another? Because those are obviously two big changes and two huge parts of the game. So any insight you can provide would be great.
Yeah, I think one leads to another is probably a good way to think about it. Just being able to, I've always had a swing that's pretty flat. And I think last year I tried to, I guess, manipulate how I wanted to hit the ball. And like I said, ground balls, I mean, there's nothing good happens to ground balls. And I think once I started swinging my swing has a little bit of loft naturally, and just able to catch the ball on a good plane and just try to hit the barrel has kind of been my approach. And but I hate striking out. I wish I would never strike out ever. But when I swing and I actually hit the ball in the middle of the zone, I usually don't strike out. So that's kind of, I think one thing leads to another. But yeah, cutting down on the swing and miss and zone has probably led to less strikeouts and less ground ball rate.
What is it about dogs that gets you so locked in? I believe of all active players, you have the highest OPS at Bark at the Park Day. Can you take me through that mindset?
Yeah, I have a dog named Coconut. I'm sure you've seen that, but I don't know. It's just something funny in the minor leagues. You come to the games, and I play well on Bark and Park, and luckily we have one coming up this week, so maybe I'll get an extra base hit. But I don't know. It's just something funny that happened early in the year, and I hit a grand slam, and then he came again Cardinals game, and I got like 3 doubles. So I don't know. It's just something about him. He goes to Chloe's sister's game, and she hits a homer. So I don't know. He's just got extra base hits in him, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah, it's funny little thing, and we got him in spring training, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Oh, what kind of dog is this? I'm surfing right now. I can't. I'm not.
He's a Bernie Doodle.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, my parents have 4 dogs and 2 Bernie Doodles, so there's a lot of dogs in our family.
He's a big fella. He's gonna be a sizable dude.
He's like 60 pounds. He's like a miniature. Oh. My parents have one that's like 120. He's a hoss. So
that's the full scale model.
Yeah. They range in all shapes and sizes.
over the course of the season, I know like some guys like to work out after games, which is I don't know how they still have the energy to do that. Are you a workout before the game guy? Like how many days are we working out? Because I mean, 162, people have to respect the fact that you guys are exhausted playing 162 games a year and then still have to maintain a workout schedule. It's not just you work out in the off season, you're able to maintain like muscle mass throughout the entire year. So how do you, when you try to put on weight, I'm assuming in the off season, how do you keep it on or do your best to keep it on during the season while also maintaining the grind of the big league schedule?
Yeah, it's definitely a grind, that's for sure. I'm starting to feel it here with the 30 or so games to go. But yeah, we lift actually after games for the most part. Usually like a getaway day into an off day or a day game into a night game. So we kind of pick our spots to lift, but it's usually like 2 to 3 times a week, maybe like an upper, a lower, and like a core day. But I try to go in and do something almost every day. Just move around. And something that my dad talks about a lot is like some guys will go up here and lift in the off season and then they won't lift during the season. And then it's just a constant rebuild of going up and down and you're just trying to maintain it. So if I can go up in the off season and then I can lift and it's just a small decline, I have a lot less work to do in the off season to rebuild what I lost. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. And he played for a good while, so I kind of trust what he has to say about that. But yeah, I try to lift because, I mean, for me, I'm a smaller dude compared to some of these guys, so I got to keep my strength and be able to compete with them in that matter.
Yeah, but I've seen the size of your forearms, which leads me to the next question. Did your father have you and Ethan like changing monster truck tires when you were like infants? When did paying attention to this stuff start? Because Jay, I don't know if you have heard the story, maybe you have, but I watched your father break the grip test machine in spring training one year. Like I watched him just laugh at the guy who handed him the tool. He's like, I'm gonna break this. What do you want me to do with it? And he was like, no, let me. And he just went and then handed it back to him in like pieces. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't know like humans could do that. Like, so when did this regimen, when did this start?
I don't know. I've always been like, I guess since I was a little kid, like leaner and kind of vascular, I guess. And I think my dad liked that. And we've always worked out quite a bit. And I don't think the real lifting and committing to lifting started until probably high school. Because I was always playing travel ball and traveling around playing. And so lifting wasn't too much of a priority until I got to high school and noticed that I was a little bit like on the smaller side and needed to make some gains on the strength. And that's kind of my senior year of high school is where it started to kind of elevate and I got stronger and was able to ball out to all fields. And so I was always skilled as a younger kid and able to hit the ball over the field. But once I got stronger in high school, things started to really jump. But I'm excited for this offseason, to try to get as jacked as possible. And so, yeah, I'm excited for it.
I love, dude. What is you bringing up high school and you an elite high school talent, your brother an elite high school talent. I tried to take Jared out to Texas one year to face a team of high school players that, I mean, they're pretty good. Jackson, they hadn't lost a game together in 3 years. Like they were pretty good. Yeah. Some high draft picks. He wanted no part of that. And I can understand why. I don't know that I would want any part of that right now, to be totally honest. What has been the like greatest singular high school performance you have seen as a ball player in your time? I mean, it could be your own performance and that would be fun. But is there just a dominant game that you remember seeing?
Oh man, me and my brother had a game. Our high school, we could let up some runs. So my senior year and his freshman year, I think we let up like 10 runs in the first inning or something like that, something crazy. And we were down and I hit a homer in the first inning and then Ethan might have gotten out or something. And then I hit another homer in the first inning and he came up and hit a homer. So we went back to back and I ended up having 3 homers and he had 2 homers and we had another buddy who had 3 or 2 homers in that game. So we hit like 10 homers in one game. And I had 3 and he had 2. And that was one of the cooler games that I've had because we went back to back. And getting to play with him in high school was a whole lot of fun. And but that's probably the best game I've ever had in high school was 3 homers. Nick Kurtz could beat me in a big league game for sure in that department. But that was my best high school game, and being able to share that with Ethan was pretty sweet as well.
That is pretty.
That's got to be incredible to just be so dominant like that. Because we talked to Rick Ankiel, and he talked about throwing 9 no-hitters his senior year in high school. Like,
yeah, I was a terrible pitcher. So
no love on the bump, not at all.
No, I think I threw like 3 innings my junior year of high school, and I gave up a grand slam and struck out like 3 times in one game. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like what could have been. As far as the Orioles and how they're constructed, it's a young team, but there's a ton of talented guys. I feel like, you know, we've seen very young cores eventually get over that hump and win a championship together. What do you think is that missing piece for this core to get over the hump? And then who's, you know, if everyone is so young and has minimal big league experience, who do you go to? Like, is it your dad still? Is there someone on the team that can sort of give you some guidance? Like if it's not your dad, like it's just kind of like the day to day. Who's that guy that you guys are going to for advice to get through things?
I mean, I think we look at the guys in our clubhouse because I mean we're in there every day grinding together. I mean, for me, it's a guy like Gunnar or Westy, guys that are like hard-nosed players that play the game the right way, and they're good leaders in the clubhouse. So for me, it's talking to guys like that that you lean on when stuff gets tough because they're tough dudes and they're ultra competitive and they're younger guys, but they've had good starts to their career, and it's definitely helpful for me to talk to them and be around them. And so I'd say probably those 2 guys right now, as far as being position players and being in it with them. And as far as like a piece to our team, I mean, we got Brash coming back this week. And I mean, I think the more pitchers, the merrier. I mean, we got some good guys in our clubhouse, but to add a guy like we lost last year, like Corbin or someone like that would probably be helpful. I mean, I know I'm not the GM making those decisions, but I know it's fun to play against guys behind guys like that. But I guess we'll see. What Mike has in store. But definitely Gunnar West here, some great dudes to lean on.
What do you have to do to continue to make the progress that you want to continue to make, the jumps that you have made from last season to now and the experience that you have accumulated? What are some things that Jackson has to do to keep turning himself into the ball player that he wants to be?
Yeah, I think I need to be more consistent. I know I've had some really good months and some not so great months, and just being able to find that happy medium of being able to stick with my swing. It's crazy, and hitting you can feel so great for a month, and then all of a sudden you're doing something completely different one day, and you're like, how in the world did that happen? So I think just being able to find a consistent approach, swing, mindset, whether that's writing stuff down, which I could probably be better at, but just trying to be as consistent at the top player that I can be and that I've shown, and just trying to hold on to that as longer than I have this year, because it's definitely gone up and down more than I've wanted it to, and kind of finding that good spot and then it disappearing and trying to find it again is definitely tough, but just being more consistent, I think, for me.
Dallas, you want to hit him with it?
All right, Jackson. You have the opportunity to maybe you rally the boys. I don't know. Maybe it's a matching Speedo thing, but either way, you're jumping into a hot tub time machine.
It's a regular time.
And you have an opportunity. It's always the hot tub time machine. It's a better fucking hot tub. We've discussed this. Hot tub time machine into any moment in baseball history. ever. You get to be there. You get to witness it. You can't play it. You're not a part of this thing. You just get to watch. What moment in baseball history are you going back to witness, and why?
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is David Freese's homer in Game 6 of the World Series. I think I remember being there as a kid, but I think we were in the family room. And every time I watch that game, I get chills. I mean, I don't think my dad was playing. I think he got hurt the game before. But just that moment, and I'd say those two games probably would be, but definitely Game 6 with the triple and the homer. I would definitely want to be a fan, go back and rewatch that.
It's almost cheating because he was there. It's almost cheating. He's already been there.
Gets to go again and have a good
I
seat.
would like to go as now and really witness that. But that's the first one that comes up to mind.
Yeah.
Not in between punching the shit out of Ethan in the children's room while awesome stuff's happening on the field.
Yeah. I think we were like, oh my gosh, we actually came back.
Jackson Holliday, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciated it. Good luck. I mean, not against the Red Sox. Unfortunately, I can't wish you luck in that series, but after that, I wish you the best of luck, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching your career flourish from here.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you, man.
All right, big thanks to Jackson Holliday for making the time to come on the podcast today. That was awesome. Shout out Peggy. Shout out Peggy on the ones and twos. I feel like a lot of times we are using our Rolodex to get people on the pod, but Jackson Holliday, big get. I think I was supposed to do that commercial with him in spring training, and then it didn't work out that way. I think he still did the commercial, but I did mine with Dylan Cruz and James Wood. Yeah, we were
they're on
commercial.
a different team. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think it was all supposed to be the same thing, but then it ended up being separate.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I thought that James Wood and Jackson Holliday were on the same team, Dallas. Are they not?
No one was implying that. I just thought it bared,
I thought
are they not?
Are they not on the same team?
Obvious. I don't know why you couldn't put that together.
I didn't realize. You guys matched today. Did you plan that?
It's on you. Who?
Look, you and Jayhay.
I'm wearing a is that greenish? This is bluish.
No, it looks green to me.
No, I mean it's like a blue green.
Yeah, you
like
guys both look like you're wearing Red Sox City Connect colors.
Yeah, mine's a little more blue than that, but you're right. You're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Dallas, are you excited for this?
Yes and no. Yes and no, Jared. Yes and no.
What?
Yes and no.
What? You don't even know what I'm asking.
Yeah, I know exactly what the fuck you're gonna say. All right, because I just watched somebody absolutely fucking carve us yesterday.
Yeah.
Logan Gilbert, 25 swinging misses in a goddamn day game. All right, not terribly excited about how that turned out. And I know what your sorry sack of shit ass. Oh, well, how about Tarek Skibble? Tarek Skibble, you're excited to see Skibble? I know you're excited to see Skibble coming into that fucking minor league ballpark throwing 100 miles an hour. Good luck. You're not going to fucking see shit out of his head till the fifth inning. Now you're excited to see your fucking offense against Tarek Skibble, fucking Cy Young. I know where the fuck you're going with that, pal.
I mean,
got it.
I would say,
I'm out in front of it.
I would say right street, wrong house. You know, I was gonna be like, hey, are you excited to catch up with Tarek Skubal? It was more of like a personal thing than like him showing up here asking. I think that's crazy to assume that I was going to taunt my own teammate. You know,
wild.
Are you excited to see him in not on the mat? Are you excited to see him in person? You know, catch up.
I am excited to see him. Again, excited to watch him pitch. I wish I was watching him pitch.
I think he took to you. I think he likes you.
Think I could watch somebody else or watch a pitch against somebody else. That'd be even better. I think I've kind of talked about how this feels. It's like watching one of your really good friends kick the shit out of your other good friend. Like you hope that never happens. But in this instance, I would like my other good friend to win this fight. My other good friend being the A's. I'd like them to win this fight.
How are the A's against lefties this year? Let's look that up.
Haven't
seen them well.
Well, it's a matter of volume.
You guys have the fucking 6th best OPS in baseball against lefties. What are you talking about?
We bang. Look at the sample size too.
We bang. Yeah, dude. What are you complaining about?
Nothing.
I'm just saying. I mean, the A's, the only teams that have been better against lefties, the Yankees, Tigers, Blue Jays, Dodgers, Red Sox. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean,
you're saying you're gonna fuck his shit up? Is that what you just said?
I didn't go that far. That is not what I said.
Jay, clip that. Clip that.
No.
I'm gonna send it to him right now. I'm gonna send it to him right now so he has it. I want him to take that to the mound with him.
We're a top 5 or 6 team, I think, in average. Top 10 in homers, I think, maybe just outside of top 10 in homers against lefties.
You guys are 6th in average, 6th in OPS. You are,
as far as the amount of homers,
11th in homers. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, not top 10. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are outside the top 10 for sure.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing the A's, according to you, fuck up Tarek Skubal. That's going to be.
I mean, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
it would be fun. No, my whole point was the sample size. We just have not seen left-handers,
sure,
to the extent that other leagues have. We have. I'm pretty sure it's the third fewest plate appearances as a team against left-handed pitching.
Let's see. The A's have, yep, it's correct. Third fewest.
There you go.
How'd you manage that? How do you manage to just skate lefties like that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's I look, early on, like JJ Bleday was a guy who was swinging it very well against left-handed pitching, but then found himself in AAA. So it's not like guys, a few of our left-handers have struggled against left-handed pitching as well. So yeah, I just find it, it's just one of those curious things that happens. Rotations shake out that way, matchups work out that way. But yeah,
sure.
The sample size, I haven't seen a ton of them.
Wow. Well, that'll be a hell of a matchup. Just like round 2 of Dodgers Padres happened to be. This round going to the San Diego Padres, who took 2 out of 3 over the weekend. However, that finale taken by the Los Angeles Dodgers secured the season series. So now the Dodgers have the tiebreaker if they were to finish with identical records. But coming into play today, they do have identical records. They do. 74 and 57. The Dodgers and Padres are deadlocked once again for first place. How do you feel, Justin Havens? Now that the Padres have, it looked like, we were having the conversations of, all is right in the world because the Dodgers are back in first place. And it was 2.5 games that they got. And now they've been caught again. However, the Dodgers have the tiebreaker. How big is it that the Dodgers have the tiebreaker right here in this division?
I think it's reasonably meaningful. I would be surprised if it actually came down to the tiebreaker, but if it did, then it's obviously very important. They're still a 2-1 favorite, basically, to win the division per Fangraphs as of play right now. A lot of that is all the stuff that we've talked about before, but I think while we said on the podcast that the vibe was, order has been restored, I think the takeaway was still that this is essentially anybody's division, and that everything we said about the Padres from a positive angle when they had made that initial surge and tied and passed the Dodgers still applied, even with them losing that initial series. And I think taking 2 of 3 from the Dodgers over the weekend kind of reaffirms that standing, that it is still functionally anybody's division. And I don't really see that changing for the remainder of the year, because I think I just think that the season has played out to a degree where these teams have proven to be these teams, and I mean that within this division and within the NL overall, that the best teams have played to roughly the same level of play and talent. And I think that's just what these teams are, and that applies to the NL West as well.
I mean, the Dodgers still have. I don't know the extent of the injury to Muncy, but the Dodgers still have Max Muncy, Edman, who's left? Kike, and Haisong Kim. I believe all four of those guys are still hurt. So in terms of getting your full bill of health back, depth included, I'm curious to see, because I got to believe Max Muncy is close. No, when did he go down? Early of this month, right? Or middle of this month? It's like a couple weeks ago. And was it oblique? Like, how long is that going to keep Max Muncy out? How long is Tommy Edman going to be out? Tommy Edman had, what's that?
Bone bruise in his left hand. And it was on the 16th.
For
Max
Muncy?
Muncy. Yeah.
Oh, bone bruise? Why did I fucking think it was an oblique?
I don't know. But the last update was that he could return sooner rather than later.
Good. Well, that's good.
Well, this also says oblique strain. The fuck?
Oh, see? I'm not stupid.
You're not.
I do think the one interesting thing, not even a takeaway because it is a short series, but just how fickle baseball can be, is that, the main thing that we hammered in the previous series was how short the Padres starting rotation came up in that series, to the point where, it really didn't even give them a chance to be competitive or even, well, certainly win the series. I think it was 8 1/3 or 8 2/3 total in the series that the rotation contributed, and a totally different ball game this time. Each of the starters that went at least 6 innings. None of them gave up more than 2 runs. It was a 1.50 ERA in 18 innings flat in the series between Pivetta, Darvish, and a redemption Nestor Cortez start in terms of his contributions against the Dodgers specifically last year. So these sorts of things can go either way depending on when you catch this stuff. But of those 3, the idea that Darvish was able to turn in a really effective start for the Padres, I think, is the most interesting in terms of what it might say moving forward. Because one of us called Darvish an incredible disappointment or a big disappointment this year. I genuinely don't remember who it was, but the sentiment was legitimate, and that it's a totally different story kind of a week later is baseball.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm excited that it's going to come down to the wire. We are a week away from September?
Yeah, barely. I mean, days, dude. Days. What's the day? The 26th?
25th?
25th? Yeah.
Like, how many legitimate division races do you think we're going to get in the month of September? Clearly, we're going to have the NL West, which is amazing. The AL East, it's 5 games. The AL Central, 10.5 games. The AL West is separated by 2 games. But like, both, like, the Astros and the Mariners are playing like shit right now.
Yeah,
so
nobody wants to win the fuck. Yeah, like, neither one of those teams over the last 2 weeks, it feels like, have done anything to help themselves. Anything.
Right. So it's like, all right, yeah, cool. You have 2 teams separated by a couple games atop the division, but I mean, they're not playing good ball. So it's not like a battle is happening right now. The Phillies, they have a 7-game lead over the Mets. The Brewers, 5-game lead over the Cubs. And then, of course, you have the Dodgers and the Padres locked up. So I'm not saying that they're the only division race, but it's definitely going to be the most exciting.
I mean,
yeah, and I mean, it really is. It's the West, the AL West, the NL West. Outside of that, I mean, the East, let's be honest, I think the East will be fun to keep track of just because of how the Red Sox have been playing, because of what the Yankees have gone through, and where the Blue Jays are at. I think the Blue Jays are, I don't know. It almost feels like the Blue Jays are the team or the kid at the fair who's like, yeah, the Gravitron, I would love to give that a ride. Let's get on that thing. They get in, they get on, it starts spinning around. They haven't said much. They're going a little quiet, and they are holding on to anything they can for dear life and just waiting. Like, can we just get this thing through September, please? Because where we are at right now is really nice. I'm okay with this. And when we get off this ride, I still want to be on the top. And that's kind of what it feels like for the Blue Jays. Like, just let the other two teams, let the Yankees and the Red Sox, let them fight with each other, let us just quietly go about our business and try to continue to create separation in this division. I think it's quietly happening.
It is. It's like you
Quietly.
you see two teams just beating the bag out of each other, and then the Blue Jays are like, I'm just gonna like sneak by over here.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the run differential, the Yankees plus 101, the Red Sox plus 100, the Blue Jays plus 55. And they're leading the division by 5 games. And the Red Sox and Yankees are separated by a half game. So
it's
but like, you know, I don't know, in my head at least, when I think about the Blue Jays, they don't strike me as a team that's half as good as the Red Sox. And then when you watch the Red Sox play the Yankees, you're like, plus 101 and plus 100. These two teams, and they're separated by half a game. These teams are nowhere close to being as good as each other. Like, the Yankees are fucking awful. Just a bad team. It's embarrassing that the Red Sox have almost the same record as them. I don't know how. I don't know how that team has a winning record, period. They're very bad.
Well, things are not good for the Yankees.
They're
fine.
Bad, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I believe.
Judge still.
I want to say, Jayhay, do you have the ability to look up what the Yankees record is against winning teams?
Yeah.
It's got to be like 40 games under 500. Like, they're not good. Anytime the Yankees play an actual good team, they do not win. They're the kings of taking care of business against bad.
So then let's look at this. Let's look at this from a different perspective then, because the Blue Jays have created this separation and are continuing to do that. Maybe a little slower pace at times, but do they have the ability to sustain this gap?
Yes.
If it's a 5-game pace. It's a 5-game pace. Do they have the ability to sustain this?
I think they close it out. Yes. And I don't think that we, over the course of the remaining, 30 something games, I don't think we have a period where it's like, Toronto, like, I think they're kind of just comfortably coasting to a division title from here. What do you got, Jayhay?
Well,
so the Yankees against 500 or better teams are exactly 500, 34 and 34. That is a half game better than the Red Sox, who are 34 and 35, and exactly the same record as the Dodgers. Well, exactly the same win percentage, who are 30 and 30. The league best is the Brewers at 38 and 21 against 500 or better. So there's, perhaps a little bit of context for you. Can I throw something at you guys?
Sure.
I know Jared does an entire other podcast about this team, but is there an argument to be made that the Red Sox are the best team in the American League?
American League?
In the entire American League.
In the American League.
Yeah. 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 I mean, if they have the best run differential in the American League, like the Yankees have them by +1, but we know the Red Sox are better than the Yankees, then yeah, I guess there's a case to be made there.
They have the arbitrary deadline or a cutoff, most certainly. But since June 1st, they have the second best record in the AL behind only the Blue Jays, who have their own claim on this, but nobody's really made this claim for the Red Sox, I don't think. Regardless of what cutoff you want to use, including the beginning of the season, they have one of the very best offenses in Major League Baseball, including the AL, obviously. Their bullpen has been at or near the top of the AL at this point in the season for quite some time. And the starting rotation is, I think, a lot more competitive in terms of where it ranks in the AL than most people would think. And if you look at it from something recent like June 1st, you could argue that it's one of the best performing starting rotations in the entire AL. So
I have the Nug.
Go ahead.
Garrett Crochet, Brian Bayo, and Lucas Giolito combined since June 1st. 42 starts, 260 and 2/3 innings, a 24-7 record, a 2.87 ERA, a 1.11 WHIP, an 8.74 strikeouts per nine, and an average of 6 1/3 innings per start.
And I think, like, you know, we've done this for a lot of teams now in the AL where, like, depending on what the standing said at that moment, is this team the best team in the AL? Astros, Blue Jays, Tigers, Yankees, even at one point, I believe. And I don't passionately believe that the Red Sox are definitely the best team in the AL, but I think we're reaching a point where their play, you know, of late over the last couple of months, whatever you want to say, I think they have an argument for it. And they have some of the ingredients that I think would make me maybe as or more confident in them than some other teams that they might be going up against. Like the fact that they have a Garrett Crochet, that Bayo has been pitching the way that he has, and that the offense I think is pretty reliable with what you're getting from Roman Anthony and Alex Bregman's return to health at this point. And, you know, nobody look, but I know it's not Colorado era, but you know, Trevor Story, for all the shit that he has taken for the Red Sox portion of his career, has been like
2020
a damn good player for the Red Sox this year. And some of that is defense, some of that is base running, and that sort of stuff. But I just think it's a question that is maybe worth asking or worth considering as we try to figure out which of these bags of, you know, 88 to 92 win teams is actually the best.
Yeah, I'm happy to tip my cap and acknowledge the Blue Jays as the class of the AL. But for all the reasons that you just laid out, I think the Red Sox have as good of a chance as anybody else to emerge from the American League.
Well, that's, I think, without calling them the best team in the American League, is why I think that this division, even though there is more separation in the two Western divisions, is still a division to pay attention to. It's still a division that can give you excitement. Because if we're talking about a team being arguably the best, and that team is trailing to the extent they are in the division, trailing potentially the best team in the American League, well, if we're talking about whether or not the Blue Jays can sustain that kind of run, that's going to take fending off arguably the best team in the American League in the Red Sox. So if we're talking about the Mariners and what their pitching staff has done and has continued to do in terms of leading them to a potential postseason berth, well, then what you just laid out with Bayo, and we were talking about this when we were talking about the run that Crochet was on 3 weeks ago, and the fact that Giolito felt like he was pacing him to an extent, and Bayo, and so you've got your three-headed monster, you got the bullpen performing. I think it's a damn good opportunity to watch a division race unfold. I think it's going to be a very exciting division race.
Yeah, I just look at it as, you know, the Blue Jays won 10 games straight, and that's when they kind of took over the AL East. But that was, 3 months ago almost? Like, it's not like they had this out of nowhere 10-game winning streak and were able to take over first place, but then they relinquished it, or it's been this tug of war ever since. They've pretty much used that 10-game winning streak to catapult into the top of the division, and they've just never let it go. And you've had spurts where the Red Sox have won 10 straight. You've had spurts where the Yankees were winning 11 out of 13 or whatever it was. So they've been able to, I guess, fend off hot streaks from their stiffest competition within their own division, and they've just stayed firmly planted right at the top of the division. So there's no shame in acknowledging the Blue Jays as the best team in the American League.
No.
I don't know, you could throw in Houston, Detroit. Detroit has the best record.
Yeah, but Detroit has the best record. But Jared, they as far as depth goes, I think there's a gap. There's a gap between what the Tigers have, and I mean, even from just a rotational perspective, there's a gap. Like if you just wanted to start with the starting rotation,
sure,
with what you outlined with Giolito and Bayo, and what the Tigers are not getting from a like Flaherty, what they're not getting from Olsen's not there, like he's he's not healthy.
Job's down.
Sure. What's that?
Job's down.
Yeah, Job's down. Mize performing, but it's a Mize and Scooble, and
but that's kind of like that's sort of the point, right? Is that the Tigers have been not anointed in an unfair way, but like described as a legitimate World Series contender for basically the entire season. And, you can count the reasons why, but it starts with Skubal and it's AJ Hinch and it's, an offense that maybe is, developing as a group. And like, I just look at them and, imagining a series head to head against the Red Sox. And I'm thinking, I mean, I know the Tigers have spent the entire season being the better team by wins and losses, but like, do I feel anything? Like, they have their Skubal, right? They have probably better supporting rotation depth at this moment in time while we're having the conversation. Their offense is, I mean, for me personally, I think I'm more confident in the Red Sox starting lineup than I am the Tigers, marginally so. But this stuff is on the margins, right? When we're talking about 1 or 2 wins separating these teams over 162. So it's more of a thought exercise, but I just feel like they stack up really well against these teams that we in the media anointed.
And that's part of the exercise of splitting the hairs is, all right, Skubal, Crochet, whether you want to call that a washout or not, I think I think you like your chances, whichever side of that matchup you're on. So moving from there, right? Then you go to, what is it? Giolito Flaherty, and then is it, Bayo Mize, okay? And then you can go tit for tat in the bullpen if you want. You can start going around the diamond and going position by position. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be areas where each team might have the slight upper hand. But in terms of a massive clear cut, here's your best team, here are the teams trailing. I just don't think that there is a marquee name. Or a marquee team.
Sure.
And remember, strength of schedule in that division, who has, I believe it's the Blue Jays who have the easiest pathway from here on out. And it's the Orioles who non-factor in the division, but have the toughest remaining strength of schedule in that division.
Yeah, the Jays have the easiest, then the Orioles, then the Red Sox, then the Yankees.
Is that right?
Oh, the Blue Jays have the hardest. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Orioles second hardest. Yeah, then the Red Sox.
And the Yankees. Because I had this. Yeah, the Yankees last 10 games are against the Orioles and the White Sox. They've got 7 against the Orioles and 3 against the White Sox.
But that ain't easy. Like as you heard in the Jackson Holliday interview, it's like the Orioles since the end of May have kept pace with the Cubs and the Tigers. And we just had a conversation about where the Tigers rank in terms of the best teams in the American League, and the Cubs will be playing October baseball. And the Orioles have the same record as them entering play today on this Monday. Since May.
Not a cakewalk.
No, it sure isn't. But yeah, I love a good impromptu debate. I know that's what gets Jayhay's fucking blood pumping on a Monday morning.
Oh yeah, coming hot out of the weekend. Are you kidding me?
Paul Skenes made his 50th career start. The gap, so it was he made his debut on May 11th of last year. His ERA, 2.02. The next closest is 2.33. That's Chris Sale. The strikeouts, I know for as nasty as his shit is, everyone's like, I wish he struck out more batters and yada, yada, yada. I get that complaint. I do. And it's whatever. But for all the complaining that people do about the lack of strikeouts from Paul Skenes since his major league debut, it is Tarek Skubal, Zach Wheeler, Garrett Crochet, and then Paul Skenes. So wait a minute. You're telling me this guy doesn't strike anybody out, or he doesn't strike out batters to your liking. It's a 1074 strikeouts per 9. It's 351 strikeouts in 294 innings. He's 4th in the big leagues since his debut in strikeouts. So he do be punching those tickets, whether you'd like to admit it or not. As far as whip, 094. I mean, it's super tight. Scooble 091, Hunter Green 093, Brandon Wu 093, Logan Gilbert 093.
Brian Wu?
What did I say?
Brandon.
Did I?
You did.
That's my bad. Logan Gilbert 093 and then Paul Skenes 094. So there's not a ton of disparity there.
I just went back and looked through Paul Skenes' game logs from 24-25 very quickly. I breezed through these. I believe there are three instances in which Paul Skenes has not gone at least 5 innings in the start.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that I wanted to say about the 50 starts. Sorry, were you about to go into a thing?
I was just going to talk.
Go.
No, so out of those starts, you're talking about a guy who you want him to punch out more people, right? You want more swing and miss. He's also somebody who, as you know, has the ability to generate swing and miss seemingly at will. So he is somebody who is a rare bird these days that can give you that kind of dominance, and is also understanding, and we understand it, he knows it too, the value of having that same guy present in the 6th inning, in the 7th inning. And so I have no problem with Paul Skenes punching out 8 on any given night on every 5th day, as opposed to the 14 or so that you think his shit could garner, which it absolutely could, because there's a solid chance you do not see the body of work, the innings total, at the end of the year that you would see if Paul Skenes was out there trying to wipe out every single batter he faced. Now, the mentality, which we have already heard from him through the slab lap, says, look, I'm trying to get them out of there as quickly as I can. Do I like the swing and miss? I sure fucking do. But I also like sticking around and pitching deep into ball games. So for a guy over his first 50 starts in the big leagues to only have 3 instances with which he did not go 5 innings, that's incredibly remarkable. I don't think that people can truly appreciate what that means. Even if you're not pitching well, you don't have your best stuff, it's labeled a gritty outing. You were able to gut your way through 5 innings, right? And sometimes if you don't have you're not seeing that 5th inning. You're not even going to be allowed to finish that 5th inning. And Paul Skenes has been able to do so 47 times out of the 50 starts, give you at least 5 innings.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because, I think one of the things when you compare Paul Skenes' first 50 starts to greats of of eras past, and I know the headliner here is the 2.02 ERA. It's second to Vida Blues through the first 50 starts, and that's the headliner. But one of the ways that people try and knock on him is, oh, well, he's not giving you the quantity that the aces of even just the most recent era, the Kershaw, Scherzers, guys, Verlanders gave you at that point in their careers. And that's just factually untrue. Like, if you look at the number or the average innings pitched per start for Skenes through 50 starts, it's higher than Kershaw's through 50 starts, and it's higher than Scherzer's through 50 starts. It's lower than Verlander's, but the point is that it is at that level. And so we were begging to everything Dallas just said, we've been begging for Paul Skenes to be this sort of ace, and that he could kind of carry that torch into the future. And he is stacking up. Not only is he doing it within the context of his own era, but he's doing it even if you hold him up to what we consider to be the last great era of true workhorse, quote unquote, starting pitchers. Even if you want to consider those guys that. And the only other thing I want to say about Skenes was that it's so easy to become numb to this, and I have to watch myself do it. I was like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to fucking watch this start today. Like, I am going to watch from pitch 1 until he leaves, because it's 50, whatever, it's a round number. But like, I need to make sure that I'm not taking this for granted. And just in my own viewing experience, I wanted to go back and pick out like who I consider to be the greatest pitchers of the last X decades, and their ERAs through their first 50. And I'm not going to read all of those off. I tweeted them out if you're interested in looking it up. But it's Skenes is so far and away the best. And even he's like 0.2 runs better than even Pedro, who is the next best that I looked up in terms of Hall of Fame guys. It's just incredible what he continues to do. And that he's doing it, with the bulk that Dallas referenced, I just think is special and easily worth, the 5 percentage points in strikeout rate or 3 percentage points in whiff rate that we're not getting at the end of the season.
What do you think is more beneficial for an individual? Because I think every day Paul Skenes is going to be a huge part of this conversation. But as we start to really get closer to a NL Cy Young Award winner, a Cy Young Award winner, period, taking it with a losing record in Paul Skenes, do we think that having a pitcher on a team that is experiencing success, that is postseason bound, that maybe, let's say, has a top 5 offense in terms of the support he might be getting on a regular basis, is there an argument to be made that you almost have to appreciate the work of Paul Skenes more because he is not supported in any other area, as opposed to his success even mildly being able to be attributed to extending factors? Like, well, he gets a ton of run support. So if I was going out there every 5th day with a 4-run lead to start my day, I'd be pretty good too. Like, that's not happening for Paul Skenes. It's quite the contrary. So when you have guys who are supported with a great offense, they have run support, and they're winning ball games. Like I think back to Phil Hughes. Was it Phil Hughes or it might have been Phil Hughes, who like won 18 games or whatever it was with the Yankees with a fucking 5.5 or whatnot. And I remember thinking to myself, well, I'm fucking rocking a 3.5. And if I had an offense that was posting 6.5 runs a game, maybe my record would look a little different. Maybe I might start getting a little more attention. Well, that's not the fucking case. But do you see what I'm asking? Like, is Paul Skenes, are guys almost served better to be on such a god-awful offensive situation so that you can really appreciate what they're doing on the mound? Is there any validity to that?
I can just appreciate it. Like, no matter, like as I'm digging through the numbers, it gets better and better with each like statistic that you look at.
It's stupid. It's stupid, dude.
The 553 opponent OPS is first in the big leagues since he's been called up, and the 637 hits per 9 allowed second. So I mean, he's just I think it's to Jayhay's point about, how many guys have we hyped up? I say we, not just us as a show, but baseball media, baseball fans, baseball Twitter, whatever arena you want to point to. How many guys have we gotten excited about and they just either didn't instantly live up to the hype or never lived up to the hype? Some guys, it takes time, and that's fine. That's okay. That should be the norm. It should not ever be the norm that you have all this hype coming out of the College World Series and in the draft going 1-1 and then fly through the minor leagues and then make it to the big leagues in not record time, but in a swift pace. And then the second that you arrive, you're just the best. Well, like, Skenes has the best ERA in baseball by like a quarter of a run since he debuted in the big leagues. It shouldn't happen like that. So
well, Jared,
we can just sit here and appreciate it and be like, it's not supposed to go down like this. And even what the bar would normally be, I think, I'm trying to think of a player. Like, who's a player that had like a ton of hype and it's like they came up and it's like they're pretty good. Like, they're not like the best, but like they're pretty good. Like, I'm satisfied with that. Like, that's okay too. But like, to just be the fucking best and immediately be like, Man, when this guy hits free agency, that's gonna start with an 8. Sounds
Well,
like
I think think about like when Mark Pryor showed up. Like, oh, fuck.
that's
Okay.
different. Yeah.
that's a little different. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Eyes watching. But just to touch on like the whole, it's not supposed to happen this way. Think about Paul Skenes' first 2 starts in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Came against the same team,
Yeah.
right? The Cubs. And that first start, the one start or one of the 3 starts that he doesn't get through 5 innings, he gets through 4. So what's he do the next time out? Against the same team that he just got through 4 innings, 3 runs. Well, he goes 6 innings and he shuts them out. He surrenders 3 hits and he punched out 11. Like that's the next week. That's 5 days later. So making the adjustment at the big league level, something you look for early, to be able to do so against a team who has just seen what you're all about the first time around, and for you to be able to go back to the drawing board in 4 days and put together a game plan and get yourself to a place of confidence mentally in the big leagues, your second start against the same team who, if you think about it, if you're Paul Skenes, that's probably the most offense he had generated against him in quite a while. And so now he says, well, I know what I need to do. No problem. Let me make my adjustments. And from there, the fucking rocket ship just burning.
I'm going to get to see him this weekend.
Say hello for me.
Yeah, he's going to jam it right up my ass. So I'm not, like you get Scooble, but I get Skenes this weekend. That's going to be fun though. I'm actually very excited for that. Cause I mean, obviously the Red Sox are still going to win the game. Like he'll go 7 shut, he'll punch out 11, but yeah, Red Sox win that game probably, call it 5-1, 5-2. Yeah.
Wearing out the bullpen, huh? Last couple of innings.
Yeah. Sox are hot right now. I'm not worried about the Sox. I am worried about whether or not I'm going to get to talk to Paul Skenes this weekend, though. Can't talk to him on start day. Won't do it. But no. I'll pop in the rest of the week just to see the guy. As we are close personal friends. You know what, Dallas? I have to commend you. You know, I'm going to give you more credit than you deserve because you're just kind of like you're a burnout that has your memory sucks. But you went this entire podcast without mentioning the fact that I struck out against Rich Hill on Thursday.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I think you forgot. I genuinely think it just was not.
You think I forgot?
Yes, I do.
You think I forgot?
I know you forgot because I think if you remember, that would have been the lead topic. I think it would have been. No, I think it would have been.
I've got it. This is how little you think of me. I have it written down at the top of my fucking notes, Jared.
I see it. He's writing it down right now.
I'm not writing anything down right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, you would have held your hands
here,
up with you.
Look at it. Right here. Where'd it go? I told you. Top of my notes. Jared punching out. See?
Okay, all right.
Top of my notes.
All right.
Final thoughts. This is going to be my final thought. You can see it right here. It says final thoughts.
Okay.
Jared punching out.
Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously know what I'm going to say. You know, we had the Family Feud question. If you faced Rich Hill 10 times, how many hits did you get? I said 7.
Yeah.
So you just saw one of the 3. That's all.
How much you get? Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got there's a lot of at-bats left. It's not over.
That's how that works.
Still a lot of fighting this dog.
I only faced him one time. There's no way to know what would have happened if I faced him 10 times.
That was the definition of pitching just being an accelerated game of catch. Like you could have been there, it wouldn't have mattered. You being there clearly didn't matter. You could have not been there. The result was going to be the same. Like it was Rich Hill playing catch with Jared standing at home plate with a bat in his hand watching. That's what I took away.
I fouled one off. I did. I fouled one off.
Rich Hill, he was doing this, Jared. He was doing this. Fucking Bayou. Fucking.
I will say this about my bat against Rich Hill. He absolutely did everything in his power to let me get a hit, and I just did not. I did not cooperate.
Yeah.
In addition to that, though, he went away. Like I'm not like, you got to come in my kitchen here. Like I can't. I'm not.
Hold on. What the fuck are we talking about?
If you're gonna try to let me get a hit, then don't paint the fucking corners away.
How do we go from I'm going to spin Rich Hill's lid, I'm going to blast one off his fucking forehead?
I never said that.
I'll get 10 out of 10 times. Rich Hill ain't going to get one of these fucking pitches by me too. Well, you got to understand, he's trying to attack me down and away. You know the Rocket likes it close to the body line. If I'm not getting it in or third, Dallas, I'm not fucking swinging. You know, I was getting fucked by the
I was up there swinging. No, I was swinging. I just, I'm an inside part of the plate hitter.
Weren't we talking last week about how your eyes were like specifically evolutionarily designed to see balls from left-handed pitchers?
Yeah, no,
I did. I fouled it off. I did not make contact. What are we talking about?
Well, it
No,
looks like
I'm
you
not
need to
saying
fucking,
you didn't make contact. I just thought like there was the story about how like you'd gone your whole life without realizing that, it was just a platoon advantage situation. And
yeah, no one bats 1,000 against their
well, that's what you led us to believe was coming,
arm side.
Yeah, like you're some fucking RoboCop.
Honestly, you know what? I didn't want to have to say this. But I was swinging a 33. I needed like a 34. I needed a 34 because I was swinging too fast. My bat speed was too fast.
Hold on. First of all, pal. First of all, I need you to get your units of measurement squared away here because you're identifying the bat based on the length measurement.
I understand that, but a longer bat is heavier.
Not always.
I mean, in my line of work.
Easy, blogger, but you fucking 30, you can get the bats. I'm not going into this with you right now. I'm not doing that.
A 34-inch bat is going to be heavier than a 33-inch bat.
It logically works out that way if we're working just base bat development. Yes. Mm-hmm. Doesn't always have to be that way, though.
Okay, I understand that. But yeah, my bat speed was too fast. And it's like my eyes knew where the baseball was going to be. The swing path was perfect. It was just the bat speed was far too fast. So...
yeah, you just weren't able to put all the necessary components of a swing together in order to hit the ball, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's what I expected, but
credit. I didn't take BP. I never do. For that game. I kind of just once a year, like the groundhog. I just roll out of bed. I show up once a year. I get in the batter's box. It's normally against a fucking professional baseball player. And I see what happens.
What do you mean normally? You've been bragging about how it was some college kid last time. Like
it was Jonathan Papelbon last time.
Well, you got drilled.
Who was drunk and throwing 92.
I don't see a problem.
Well, I did at the time. Yeah, I think it hurt. It hurt. But next year. It'll be Brock Holt. It was supposed to be Brock Holt. I'm retiring next year. Officially announcing next year is my last old-time baseball game.
So you invite me to play in the game. My invitation gets pushed back for Brock Holt. No, I'm not taking
retiring
Brock
in 2
Holt's
years.
spot.
No, I'm retiring in 2 years.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've been getting in shape for this fucking game.
I've already faced you, though, and I put one off the fucking wall. Like, it's, I'm looking for a new challenge.
You are delusional. That's
on video. It's on video.
No, nowhere on video.
I still have the video. I know that the former company took it down because they, I guess, didn't want views. But yeah, that video, I still have it.
Edited, yeah, just like the moon landing. I believe that.
It's like, oh man, are you slowing down in your 30s? Now I'm getting too strong in my 30s. Like I'm like speeding up. Like I'm used to, my eyes are seeing the ball right here, and it's like, all right, this is how hard we have to swing. But like when I put max effort into my swing, it's just faster than it's ever been, and that's what
your eyes are deceiving you. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, but Rich Hill, great guy. Super nice guy. I love Rich Hill.
Not nice enough to give you one where you could hit it, though.
No, he did. He absolutely tried to let me
Yeah.
go.
No, it was the outside corner.
Yeah.
He did.
See, I
He
would have
did go away.
loved one right there. Just fucking Jeter that ball. Just
Yeah.
like,
So for anybody listening, Rich Hill still painting down and away. If you need arms, Rich Hill's still painting down and away.
He is. He is. He absolutely refused to come in my kitchen. Which, fine, whatever. I would have suspected more malicious intent had he had a social media presence, but he doesn't. He don't care. He just went home, drank his warm milk, and went to bed after that. That was it.
Oh, Dick Mountain.
Yeah.
Unbelievable run.
Yeah. Shout out Dick Mountain. Shout out Hims. Because no one plans for hair loss, but through Hims, you can take the next step with confidence. Access treatments made with clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil to stop hair loss and regrow hair in 3 to 6 months. No waiting rooms, no hoops, just ingredients with a track record of results. You don't need another hat. You need a personalized plan to regrow hair. Through Hims, you can access treatments that combine clinically proven minoxidil and finasteride to stop hair loss and regrow that hair in 3 to 6 months. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor trusted, clinically proven. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns all in one place. For simple online to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/BID. That's Hims, HIMS.com/BID for your free online visit. hims.com/BID. What else I gotta play this Cal Raleigh home run call. Mariners broadcast did a great job on
damn,
this.
I was hoping it was the A's broadcast. All right, no problem.
That's too bad. Where's the big dumper home run call? Yeah, here it is. Big dumper making history.
In his first at bat.
Cal, blast up, left field, there it goes, Cal Raleigh! His 49th home run, storybook season by Cal Raleigh, he has done it! The most home runs all time in a single season by a major league catcher. Once in a lifetime kind of.
Dallas, you were there. You witnessed this front row. Talk to me. What'd you see? What'd you hear? What'd you experience? What'd you feel?
Saw a ball went about as far as I've seen a ball go in Seattle. Saw that almost as far as the back-to-back homers I gave up to Beltre and Guillen. That was not fun. I have been I have been lucky to be present for some very exciting moments in baseball. Watching Cal Raleigh at home. I mean, I watched him hit the homer that sent him to the postseason. I watched him now join the history books and take over sole possession. Cal Raleigh has hit the most homers of a catcher in baseball history in a single season. And the excitement when he steps out on deck, you just hear the energy of the crowd ratchets up a notch. He's on deck and you can just hear the buzz. You can feel it mounting. And I mean, he stepped up. It was first pitch and he absolutely murdered that baseball. It was fucking crushed. And then he hit the second one. And when he hit the second one, the place erupted. MVP chants. They wouldn't sit down. Curtain call. He came out, tipped his cap. It was a moment that I know Mariners fans will never forget. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the picture, but I believe there's a young lady out there who has a tattoo now of Cal Raleigh's finish. Like, she's got the tattoo of the silhouette of Raleigh's finish, Felix, his silhouette from throwing the perfect game, and I think Griffey's swing, maybe.
I saw it was Felix's perfect game was in the middle, right?
Yeah.
So I will say this, not to nitpick a tattoo, but the Griffey swingman could have been more distinguishable.
Yeah,
that's the only one on the tattoo where I was like, I know that's Griffey, but like, I feel like there's got to be a more distinguishable Griffey swing silhouette, but still a cool tattoo.
Yes, still a very cool tattoo.
Yeah, very cool tattoo.
But it was just to see the Mariners fans who this is a fan base who had gone through 20 plus years of not having any sort of postseason action. They get that itch scratched, and they want more. They want more. They understand where they're at in their season. They understand how close they are to getting back to where they want to be. And Cal Raleigh putting together a magical run. I know it spurred a thought from Justin Havens. This was something that I mentioned on the broadcast in real time as it was unfolding. I talked about, and I posed the question, and I mean, maybe it's a question I can pose again here. But should the Yankees potentially slip all the way out of any sort of postseason contention, and let's say they don't make the postseason altogether, and it's the Mariners who make the postseason, and a lot of it can be attributed to the year that Cal Raleigh has had, and then you go one step further and you start to do what should be done, and that's give credit to Cal Raleigh because of the responsibility of the position he's playing. Is there a world where Cal Raleigh is the more valuable player, dare I say the most valuable player to his team? Because remember, I've talked about Tarek Skubal needing to be very much a part of this MVP conversation as well for the same reason. And so if we're in a world where the Yankees are not playing October baseball and Cal Raleigh has set and surpassed and established a new home run record for catchers in a single season, all while helping push his team into the postseason while steering a top-tier pitching staff throughout a season, I don't know that there's a more valuable position to be played.
But, buddy, I don't even think the Yankees need to miss the playoffs. Like, I think if the Yankees miss the playoffs, Aaron Judge has close to, unless he is going absolutely bananas over that stretch, I think that would ruin his chances. Like, I think we are at a point now between Raleigh and Judge where they are essentially equally valuable as, I mean, they are literally the same by F4 entering play on Monday now. I just looked when you brought it up there. It's 7.3 and 7.3. So I know the betting markets still have Aaron Judge as the favorite, but in no way is the situation like it was even a week or two ago. And I think that, I think it is mostly a toss-up at this point. I don't think that you need any sort of collapse by Aaron Judge or the Yankees to secure the award. I think it's just what are you doing from here on out, and so, what does that look like?
Can I ask you then, Jayhay, what would be the toss-up, or what is creating the toss-up? What is not allowing, and whether it's you specifically, if you have an answer off the top of your head, but what is allowing Aaron Judge to stick around in the conversation? Is it purely just about the offensive productivity? And I mean, because it's not like we're going to talk about his defensive excellence that is going to outweigh what Cal Raleigh is doing behind the plate. So but for as great as Cal Raleigh's offensive season is, and it is going to be, whether you're looking at homers, which is already record-setting, or just more neutralized stats, it's going to be an all-time season for a catcher, regardless of how you cut it. But that doesn't mean that it's on the same level as Aaron Judge's offensive season, because it's still not. No.
We're still talking about more than 80 points of on-base percentage. 80 points of on-base percentage. That's like the difference between Cal Raleigh and a person who is not able to get onto the field, right?
Well, Jay, now go to slugging, right? Because we're talking about a catcher who has just set the single season home run
and that's
record.
another 70 or 80 points of slugging, right?
And Aaron Judge has him taped by, like you just said, 70, 80. So, I mean, there are the offensive categories that Aaron Judge stands tall in and that he leads in that do make a difference. Those matter because that's identifying the sort of regular damage that Aaron Judge represents. Cal Raleigh represents damage on a similar level, or I should say along a similar vein, but Aaron Judge is doing this just on a different level. This is a different tier of productivity and offensively. And that's where I can hear the argument. And that's where this is where the baseball player, the dude who did it, this is where my argument comes in and says, I know how fucking hard the job that Cal Raleigh is doing is, and I know how hard, comparatively speaking, it is not for Aaron Judge to stand out in any one of those three outfield positions.
But that's already, and I understand that, and I think the people that are passionately arguing that are in some ways arguing with ghosts, because I think that is already being factored in. Like, that's why Cal Raleigh is in the conversation with Aaron Judge from a wins above replacement and statistics level. It's because his job behind the plate is being factored in. It's because his offensive standard at the catcher position is historically great in a way that Aaron Judge's offensive production at any position is historically great. Like this is the last way I'll describe it. And then I'll move on at least. Like, the difference between Aaron Judge's OPS and Cal Raleigh's OPS is the difference between Cal Raleigh's and Joe Adell's, like, to the point. And that is like, that's what we're dealing with here. They're not close offensive players. They are close in home runs. They are not close offensive players. What makes them close is that Cal Raleigh is doing it as a catcher. And what I think makes that is part of what makes this so compelling. And it's what has made this potential MVP race so compelling the whole time, is that it is a great contrast, yet similar in how they do things given the home runs. But what makes this additionally interesting is Judge's performance since coming back from injury for me, because he missed 10 days or whatever it was, and he's been back for 17 games, and it's a 207, 378, 397 slash which is a 775 OPS. Like, that he's getting on base is great. That's clearly not Aaron Judge at peak contributions. That's him relying a lot on drawing walks to provide value. And if that's what we're looking at, or a version of that, even 100 points of OPS better than what he's doing right now, then the race may be cooked in Cal Raleigh's favor.
Wow.
Because, yeah, I mean 207 batting average is what it is, but like, it's a 397 slugging too.
And this is where, like, is Aaron Judge healthy?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think so. I don't think anybody would think so, given that line. Like, Aaron Judge very rarely slugs 397 over really any subset of 17 games.
Agreed.
I'll look that up, actually.
Yeah, look that up. But yeah, all that to say, I think the MVP chase is very real. I think it is important.
Jared, where do you have, if at all, where would you factor in a Tarek Skubal into this conversation? That's why I think this race is so interesting, is because you have a dominant position player option in Aaron Judge. You have a dominant player in Cal Raleigh, who we are combining what he does defensively and what he has done offensively to give him his place in this conversation. I mean, he has planted himself in this conversation. And then you have a pitcher in Tarek Skubal, who has led the charge from the first pitch of the season up until this point now. And I think it's a unique set of players contributing to their team in different ways, with like similar leadership type roles that are making a difference, but again, doing it just a bit differently. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the votes all shake out. Like, Like, do you think Tarik Skubal garners first place votes in the MVP race?
Yeah, I do think he'll get first place votes. We're talking about a 6-win player, like at least as far as the American League is concerned, no other pitcher is a 6-win player. I think that when you are on the best team, at least from a record standpoint in your league, and you're the guy on that team, whether you're a position player or you're a pitcher, MVP has to be considered, and he is far and away the best player on his team, the best team in the American League from a record standpoint. And I just think that factor alone gets him MVP votes. Jay?
I think whether he gets a singular or 2 first place votes, maybe. I don't think Tarik Skubal meaningfully factors into the AL MVP conversation at the end of the season.
Is he a top 5 finisher?
Oh, no doubt. Yes. But I think the gap between him and Crochet has shrunk to a point, and through no fault of Skubal's, more to the credit of Crochet. But I just don't think the body of work is different enough between those two right now, or for that matter, as they're digesting the overall pitching landscape between them and Skenes or some of the NL people as well. Like, I just don't know if, yeah. What are you thinking, buddy?
You got one of them. You got one of them jerseys laying around, Jay. If you got
I wish I did. I did.
You got a jersey that says Skubal doesn't get a first place vote?
No. I can't do that. No, there's going to be. I've seen that Detroit media in action before. I'm not going to put anything by those folks. No. But I'll tell you what. I will make you a pledge, sir, because I can tell you're hurting. I will give some real, genuine thought to how we can make this a jersey bet. I just don't want the first place vote part of it. Okay.
You just okay. Yeah, sure. I just don't want to give
one first place vote when we give it. Yeah, the Detroit Free Press will probably listen to this podcast and be like, "Oh yeah, we got DB's back, no problem." After all he did for Maglio, after all he did for Mags,
after all the stat pad that he helped out with. Yeah, there's got to be a jersey bet in there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm on it because I want to give you a chance at redemption. In fact, it honestly might be easier to just give you a chance at redemption than hoping these jerseys show up, because I think I just got to start racking so many of them up that.
Where's it?
We got to call your friends.
You know what? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, he's been saying
Sending
this
them?
for like 2.5 months. Like, oh, you guys don't even know, dude. Like, not only am I getting you your jersey, it's the best jersey of that jersey. Like, you don't get it, dude.
Uh-oh, he got up.
Oh, he's up.
Real opportunity for DB to shove it up our ass right now if he's got something cool.
He might. You never know.
He did just see Cal Raleigh.
Oh.
Well, I mean, watched him play. I don't know.
I'd be happy for you if you finally got yours. It would almost feel like I got mine from last year.
I feel like the chances, no offense, are much higher for that.
Yeah.
I feel like yours has gone on so long where it's almost like a gimmick that can't end.
Yeah. Like we're gonna I'm gonna get a cake to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of me winning that jersey bet. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry, had to go to the bathroom. My bad.
Oh, an authentic Dallas worn Cal Raleigh jersey. Is that what that is?
Oh, this? No, I saw my buddy. Oh, check this out. So I saw my buddy Cal. I was up in Seattle this weekend, and had my buddy Cal. He was nice enough.
Oh shit!
Oh, look at that!
Signed it.
Wow!
Signed it with the big dumper. Yeah, the front says "To Dallas. Thanks for the support." Yeah, so I knew you guys would appreciate that. Yeah, but so he's more than willing to sign him, more than willing to give him away. You just guys, once you connect, I feel.
That's insane, man, that the addiction has reached such a level where Dallas was in a position to actually fulfill the debt and just got himself a Cal Raleigh autographed jersey.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
the
it.
Cal
I
Raleigh.
actually respect the hell out of that move.
Like the fact that Dallas's problem has become so crippling that you have someone who's in an MVP race be like, let me help you out, man.
Let me carve out a few minutes.
Yeah, like I understand the hole that you've dug yourself here. Let
You gotta
let me give you
understand.
a shovel.
The minute that he started talking shit to me during BP in Sacramento, I wanted to fuck. You have no idea. I wanted to grab Jayhay like just right under the throat, so you get under the fuck and it's full head control, and then just punch him repeatedly, like short little rabbit punches, just right in the fucking forehead several times, and it's been riding with me for a while. So I'm glad I finally got that monkey off my back, and by that I mean got my own jersey.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You were able to fulfill the jersey bet from last month, but not last year.
As far as my docket, I think I'm all taken care of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's true
with that one. I think we're square.
Yeah, no, I think there was one more that you still owed. Yeah.
Oh, let me.
I think we actually had Garrett dig up the clip as well, just for evidence.
It says here, final thoughts. Make fun of Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I got it in my notes right here. Yeah. See? So watch your fucking dirty mouths, you shit talking scumbags.
You're still not paid up.
What are you talking about?
You can't go on a celebratory. All right, guys, stop calling me out for not paying up my bets. You haven't paid them.
Dallas thinks getting to look at the jerseys is
yeah.
All right, we're good now, right?
Right. I showed you that I got a jersey. Is that good enough for you? No.
Done.
No, it's not good enough. No. Yeah, we are about call it 5 or 6 weeks away from the 1-year anniversary of you owing me a jersey.
You know how good it's going to feel when you slip that thing on?
It's not happening at this point. Yeah, I think that I think that ship has sailed at this point.
That's not true.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Last one for me, Kyle Tucker. Tucker went over a month without hitting a home run. And then he gets benched. It's kind of a mental break. Comes back for one game, goes 0 after the mental break game. But then, shout out to Max. The Cubs have a game with the Angels, or a series with the Angels. Kyle Tucker hits .417, gets on base at a 500 clip, hits 3 home runs after not hitting one for a month, 15 total bases, drove in 7, and had a 1750 OPS in this series for the Cubs. Kyle Tucker back? Is that all you need to see to say Kyle Tucker's back?
Might need to see a little more. I mean, it's 3 games, but you like to think that he's back on a field. Maybe there's some consistency. Maybe there's some confidence around the corner. Hopefully it's the confidence first and then the consistency, because it was a series in which he produced more offensive value than he did the entire month prior.
I mean, 3 home runs in a weekend after going a month without one. It's not. I wouldn't be like he's back for the long haul, but like I would be very happy to see the weekend that Kyle Tucker just had.
Yeah, I mean, the question is ultimately, isn't it just how does the hand feel? How healthy are you?
Well, and Craig Counsell said, yes, it is. And I think, but the other point is that Craig Counsell, for whatever this is worth, said what the rest or the benching, the days off, whatever, that they gave him was a mental thing. They were attributing that to the mental grind of the slump as opposed to he was hurting so bad or something like that that he needed time off. And I guess if that's how they're characterizing it, I'm a little bit more optimistic that he might be able to get back on track permanently. But the injury still exists, right?
Yeah, and those two things, they coexist. Meaning the lack of confidence you have, the lack of production that you've been experiencing, those things coexist with the injury. That's why he has not performed, is because he was hurt. And then from a mental perspective, he is not performing, and he's trying to compartmentalize why he's not performing with understanding that he's hurt. So you're talking to yourself going, why am I not getting to this pitch? I know why I'm not getting to this pitch, because I'm fucking hurt. All right, well, what do you got to do? And like that mental anguish, those mental gymnastics, that's a lot for a guy to have to work through each and every day. Because think about from the perspective of just an at-bat, your first at-bat of a game, you don't get to a fastball. You don't get to the fastball. You don't get to the fastball, right? And now you've punched out and you're out in the field going, fuck, what do I got to do to get on time? Like, I know my hand's not feeling right. Like, is there an adjustment I can make to try to get into position quicker? Like, do I need to shorten up? Am I starting to make adjustments that may be unnecessary simply because I don't feel 100% and I'm not able to work through that mentally? Like, there's just so much going on in a player's head when you're physically not feeling great and you're trying to make adjustments and they're not working out. So the best thing that you can do at that time, and we always say it, is you have to be protected from yourself. Because Kyle Tucker would be more than willing to go out there each and every day, grind the at-bats out every day with no answer, with no direction, just because that's what you do. So somebody has to step in and go, hey, I'm just protecting you from yourself right now. I know you need a little bit of a mental breather. I think that can also provide an opportunity for some things to rest up a little. And now we get you back on track, and we're just that much more closer to you feeling like your old self.
Jayhay, did Kyle Tucker factor into the award-winning Nuggs at any point?
Gonna have to find out.
Wow. Okay.
Is it Nug time or no?
Well, I would say the last thing would be the Zach Wheeler thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. Awful news for the Phillies. For Zach as a human being, that shit sucks. But yeah, that's a devastating blow for the Phillies, and certainly not their playoff chances, but their World Series hopes. Yeah, I mean, when you have Christopher Sanchez stepping up, and I mean, he has a case for Cy Young this year as well. But so did Zach Wheeler before all this shit happened. I mean, Zach Wheeler always he wakes up and is in the Cy Young conversation. So you lose a guy like that, it's going to set you back quite a bit. But the Phillies do have an embarrassment of riches where you have you have Christopher Sanchez, who should have been an all-star, was robbed of that. And he can kind of just be slot in perfectly as your game one starter in a playoff series. It just obviously hurts your depth in any length of series in the postseason. So,
yeah, I mean, probably goes without saying that it hurts their World Series chances. He's one of the best pitchers in the game, but my secondary thought just went to the big picture career implications for Zach Wheeler too. And, maybe we don't need to spend a ton of time on that, but this is a guy who's, we were talking about, all his resume is missing is that elusive Cy Young win. That's not going to happen this year. Does this put into question his ability to win them in the future? I mean, probably so, just because with each passing year, his window closes and he's never probably going to be as good as he was right now, given his age and how good he was. And that, is this Hall of Fame impacting? Is this, I mean, those are down the line, but to me, yes, Christopher Sanchez is awesome. He gives them a security, a fallback option here, but I need to see, to me, this is devastating. I don't think it eliminates their ability to win the World Series, but I think it is, without being hyperbolic, I think it is as significant of a blow as a single team could suffer at this point in the season, because I need to see more than one competent start from Aaron Nola since his return before I put any stock into what he's going to be able to provide me. And honestly, like right now, if you're asking me what's my confidence level in this starting rotation, it runs too deep in a postseason series. I love Luzardo's ability in a single game outing. I don't know what I'm necessarily getting. And I just, every team would love to have the 3 horses, right, that these teams seem to have before Wheeler went down, and 2 is better than some other teams have. But Zach Wheeler was the best guy here, and he was the most proven. And I just, it's devastating because the window is fully right now for this Phillies team.
Oh, it is. You're right. It is right now. Something that I've been thinking about, like with the Phillies, because if you look at their starting rotation and how many guys have taken the ball for them and made starts, it's not a lot, which tells you they've been very good at being consistent and taking the baseball, being present for the most part. So when we start to try to go and look for guys who can help this equation, whether obviously those are going to be in-house answers that you're finding or that you're looking for. That's where the work from the Phillies perspective in-house is going to have to pay off. Have you identified guys? Are there guys in AAA right now that you think can help you? Is there something that you think you can construct to put together from a perspective of a Luzardo start and some guys out of the bullpen that make you feel good about that potential third game in a 5-game series? So I think it'll be interesting to see how the Phillies sort of patchwork that moving down the line here, because it's now you're starting to think about bullpen usage, bullpen wear, and going into the postseason. That's always something that is extremely important. Who's healthy, who's pitching well, who can we line up and leverage spots? So this is absolutely the last thing that the Phillies needed, and it is the last thing that any postseason contender wants to have to deal with. Losing your top flight Cy Young ace.
Yeah. I mean, like they've had 9 guys make starts for them this year, but only six of them are guys that have at least made double digits. But yeah, you look at Christopher Sanchez, you look at postseason, like October Suarez. He's contributed 126 innings this year. Luzardo, your boy,
Taijuan Walker has quietly been more than serviceable.
Yeah, Taijuan Walker's got a 3.39 in 16 starts this year. So you combine those guys. I'm taking out Zach Wheeler. Luzardo, Sanchez, Suarez, Walker. Those 4 guys this year have combined to go 36 and 21 with a 3.23 ERA, averaging 6 innings per start, a 3.22 FIP, a 1.20 WHIP, and a 9.13 strikeouts per 9. That is 4 dudes, not counting Zach Wheeler. Mm-hmm. Like that's fucking awesome. So, like, I know that Jayhay said devastate. Like, it is devastating. Like, Zach Wheeler had made 25 starts this year, had a 2.71 ERA, an 0.94 WHIP, and an 11.73 strikeouts per 9. Those are ace numbers. That's an ace. That's your game 1 starter. That's most organizations' game 1 starter. But you subtract Wheeler from this rotation, Luzardo, Sanchez, Suarez, Walker. It's a 3.23 ERA, a 1.20 WHIP, and a 9.13 strikeouts per 9. Like, people would kill to have one
Jerry.
guy that has those numbers.
Yes.
They have 4 starters that combine for that.
For sure. I just, in my heart of hearts, if we're lining up for a postseason series, like, I know we know this is how it works, but like, there's going to be a trickle-down impact because the start that was now going to go to Zach Wheeler is going to go to Luzardo or Taijuan Walker or however it works. And sorry, a Taijuan Walker postseason start is functionally a fucking bullpen be ready as soon as the game start. And like his swing and miss is nowhere to be found this year. I know what his ERA is. I respectfully have no confidence in Taijuan Walker starting a postseason game with any sort of leverage on the line at all. And I think we all know the kind of perilous state of the Phillies bullpen. And I think that the trickle down here is that you're going to be asking this bullpen, or you're going to be asking a Taijuan Walker to do more than I think they're capable of in a postseason series. And again, you guys are 100% right that in some senses, these are problems that almost any other team would ask for, to be like, oh, we only have Sanchez and Suarez to trot out at the top of our rotation. But like, I think I'm on record as having some postseason concerns as it relates to how pitchable this offense is for opposing rotations and bullpens. And I really, the formula was, we're going to ride this starting rotation to a World Series in a lot of ways for me. And I picked them to win the World Series. So that was the formula I was thinking. And I just can't shake the fact that losing the guy who might have been the second best pitcher this year, if you want to take Christopher Sanchez, but who has been the most consistently excellent pitcher in the NL for 7-8 years. Yeah, devastating is obvious, but I just think that I don't want to overstate their pitching depth when I think, to me, that's just a lot of Sanchez and Suarez, and I'm putting the other two guys aside in a way.
Okay.
When Jesus Luzardo fucking shoves in a postseason game, you can come up and remind me that I said that.
Luzardo has not been great. He's been fine.
But he's
like the opposite problem of Walker too, right? Where it's
he's got the type of shit though. This is the thing. He's got the type of shit. He rolls out there and he's dialed in. Like, I just watched it with our young guy, Luis Morales and Brian Wu. And we lost the ball game, but watching two guys with elite shit, because that's what Luis Morales has. He throws 100 miles an hour as a starting pitcher. He's got 90-mile-an-hour slider. He has elite shit, electric shit. And Brian Wu, some of the same. But watching those two dudes absolutely shove with high octane shit in the zone and just outside of the zone consistently, it was a great ball game to watch be played. Great defense behind him. The approaches at the plate, it felt like it was two guys who were on the offensive in Wu and Morales. The take-home message, though, is with that kind of stuff, if you are on and you are in and around the zone consistently, you're commanding the baseball. Brother, that's when we talk about the postseason approaches starting to really kind of bear down and they're not giving pitches or at-bats away. That's the kind of shit you need in moments like that, in a game like that. And Luzardo possesses that. So if he is around the zone and competitive, it could be fucking trouble.
Really quickly, because we got to get to the Nuggs. Jayhay's got to get out of here. But on the defense of Jesus Luzardo this year, comparatively to Christopher Sanchez, who has been arguably the best pitcher in the National League, the contact rate, 70% for Sanchez, 69.6 for Luzardo. The swing and miss, 30% for Sanchez, 30.4% for Luzardo. The average exit velocity allowed, 89.3 Sanchez, 89.3 Luzardo. So, I mean, I don't know what the difference, like what the separator would be, but they're getting the same swing and miss. They're generating the same amount of swings. It's 48.4% for Sanchez, 48% for Luzardo. The chase rate, 30.8% for Sanchez, 30.9 for Luzardo. They're almost identical numbers. So I guess when you just look at the FIP, then, like, you would see a 4.10 ERA for Luzardo, but it's a 3.09 FIP. Like, he has gotten unlucky this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gotten unlucky.
It's a full run.
Yeah. Like, there's not a lot of disparity between the under the hood numbers between Christopher Sanchez and Jesus Luzardo this year. So, yeah, he has had some tough luck.
If you wanted, to this point, if you wanted to craft a pro Luzardo, this is no big deal sort of argument, I think the argument would be that the separator that you're asking, why is Luzardo the way that he is? It's that he has meltdowns, right? Like he has
He's had
non-competitive
blow-up
starts.
outings.
Yeah, and if you take the
Had
3
1
blow-up
UTAs.
outings, you can't do this, right? But if you take the 3 blow-up outings that he's had this year and you remove them and you look at the other 23 starts that he's made, his ERA is 2.69. And if his ERA was 2.69, you know what conversation we'd be having? He's going to fall somewhere on the Cy Young ballot this year, isn't he? Because of all the other stuff that you guys are talking about, the bulk that he's provided, the swing and miss. So it really is about 3 starts where he has allowed 25 earned runs in 7 2/3 innings pitched. That has essentially ruined his ERA, quote unquote, and raised it a 1.5 from where it otherwise would be. So I know I was playing the other side of the coin here just moments ago, but if you wanted to be optimistic about this, you could say that, you know, in 23 of the 26 starts or whatever, Jesus Luzardo has given the Phillies a very legitimate chance to win the baseball game. And that's a very, very good percentage in terms of, are you giving us a chance to win the game? So it's just in the other 3, he gave them no chance at all.
Yeah. All right. Some award-winning Nugs, please.
Oh, hell yeah. You asked for Kyle Tucker. I give you Kyle Tucker. We'll start there. He had 2 homers off of fastballs over the weekend. He had 1 home run off of a fastball from June 26th to August 21st. So almost 2 entire months prior to the weekend. Dallas, you saw Logan Gilbert. We touched on him earlier. You said you wanted to fight me. I guess we'll deal with that in September. I'd prefer you didn't. But 2 strikeouts with the splitter in his previous 3 starts combined. He had 7 against the A's on Sunday as part of that 13 strikeout performance. So the splitter was back. He and George Kirby both now have produced 13 strikeout outings this season, meaning it's the first time in 13 years since 2012 that the Mariners have had multiple starts of 13 strikeouts within the same season. That year, it was King Felix and Hisashi Iwakuma who did it. Junior Caminero is now up to 37 homers. That is tied for the 6th most by a player in his age 21 season or younger in MLB history. Only ones ahead of him, Eddie Matthews, Mel Ott, Acuna, Bellinger, and Frank Robinson. He's tied now with Albert Pujols in 2001. Really special season going on there. Maybe the superstar bat that the Rays have kind of been looking for. Well, maybe they haven't even been looking for, but we've been hoping they would get. Rangers against the Guardians this weekend. Not sure if anybody caught this series. Maybe Connor caught it. But their rotation shoved between Evaldi, Leiter, and Kelly. They combined for 21 innings pitched, 1 single run allowed, 2 walks, and 27 strikeouts as the Guardians offense is perhaps at its least watchable, which says quite a lot over the last 10 or so years. The Cal Raleigh Nuggs are out there, obviously, but in terms of most multi-home run games as a catcher, he now has 7 after his performance against the A's. That is behind only Javi Lopez in 2003, who had 8 such games in his quote-unquote record-setting season. Jack Flaherty, brought up, I believe, by Dallas briefly earlier in the pod about maybe guys they can't rely on moving forward. First 13 starts, 3.41 ERA. Last 13 starts, 6.47 ERA. That included another ugly one on Sunday. Speaking of ugly, his opponent in that game was Seth Lugo. He had a 2.95 ERA in 19 starts before signing a contract extension. The Royals kept him in-house, didn't trade him. He has an 8.07 ERA in 6 starts since signing. Trevor Rogers, in something of a lost season, as we talked about for the Orioles, has been everything they probably hoped he would have been last year after trading for him. He has a 1.40 ERA in 13 starts this season. Those are obviously his first 13 starts after a late beginning. That 1.40 ERA is the 4th lowest by a left-handed pitcher through 13 starts since integration, behind only Vita Blue in 71, Hyunjin Ryu in 2019, and John Tudor in 1988. Vinny Pasquantino is the first Royals player with 6 home runs in a 7-game span. That obviously occurred in the Flaherty-Lugo game within a single season since Salvador Perez did so in August of 2021. And he's the first Royals first baseman to do so since Steve Balboni in 1985, special year 1985, the year I was born. Mark Vientos, first 83 games, had 7 homers. Last 7 games has 5 homers. Paul Blackburn, some people call him Paulie Punch Myself.
Some people do say that.
He's the first Yankees relief pitcher to allow 7 runs or more in an appearance of fewer than 4 innings pitched at home against the Red Sox since Don Larson on August 15th, 1959. That's the other Don Larson note. Garrett Crochet had a dominant outing at Yankee Stadium. Outings of 1 or 0 runs, 1 or 0 walks, and 11 or more strikeouts by a Red Sox starting pitcher at Yankee Stadium in August or later last 50 years. Garrett Crochet, Wakefield in 05, Pedro in 99, and Roger Clemens in 1987. Sticking with the Red Sox, Trevor Story joined Francisco Lindor, Hanley Ramirez, and Jimmy Rollins as the only shortstops in MLB history to produce 4 or more seasons with 20 homers and 20 stolen bases. Story this year, if he continues at his current pace, because he has not been caught stealing yet, it would be only the 4th season in MLB history, regardless of position, featuring 20 or more homers and 20 or more stolen bases with 0 times caught stealing. The 3 current instances of that are Kevin McReynolds in 1988, Chase Utley in 2009, and Trey Turner in 2023. The Phillies, after Ranger Suarez's outing, now have 12 outings by starting pitchers this season, featuring 10 or more strikeouts and 0 walks. That is the most such starts by a team in a single season in National League history, and behind only the 2019 Astros in MLB history. They had 14 such starts. The 18 Astros also had 12. They're tied with the Phillies. Lastly, Paul Skenes, 2.20 ERA. For reference, Pedro Martinez, 2.29, Tom Seaver, 2.57, DeGrom, 2.66, Carlton, 3.10, Feller, 3.16, Nolan, 3.22, Clemens, 3.32, Marichal, 3.35, Kershaw, 3.44, Verlander, 3.62, Koufax, 3.73, Scherzer, 3.74, Mariano, for good measure, 3.76, Gibson, 3.87, Big Unit, 4.19, and Greg Maddux, who sucked, at 4.39 through their first 50 career games. That's right, Paul Skenes' ERA is less than half of Randy Johnson's through his first 50, and those are the weekend Nugs.
Wow. Thank you, Jayhay.
Full sack.
Final thought, Dallas, or did I steal your thunder?
No, not at all. Shout out to the Baseball Writers of America Association.
That's not how
because
that goes,
they are.
But
What's that?
you tried. No, A for effort. Go ahead.
Yeah, BBWAA, Baseball Writers Association of America.
Yeah.
What did I say? Oh, did I say it backwards?
America of Association or something like
Yeah, that's wrong. That's very wrong. We're getting a reliever award. We had one. We had the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year award, and that was cool. It was fun for a lot of the good reasons where relievers kind of get left out. And, hey, it is what it is. It's a thankless job, but you will be acknowledged. They will have an official Reliever of the Year award starting next year in 2026. So an award, just another award, another acknowledgement for the boys on the bump.
I like that. I loved the Rolaids Relief Man of the Year award.
Yeah.
I don't know why we got rid of that. What
Well,
the fuck
I
happened?
could look, Jayhay has to go. I could get into it. It's
right.
just, it's part of the, like, when you became a relief pitcher, like you just understood, like, well,
Rolaids ran out of
this
money.
is the lot in life.
That's the explanation. Rolaids
Yeah,
Rolaids bowed out, and so did the award. Jayhay, do you have a
See ya.
final thought?
Excited for Padres, Mariners, and Phillies, Mets. 2 series that start this early this week, and that we'll be wrapping up by the time we pod next. We'll see how it goes.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll check in with all the major news and stories with more interviews. Thank you to Jackson Holliday for coming on today, but we have more where that came from this week. I believe we have an interview on Wednesday and Thursday this week. Is that correct?
I think it's just Thursday this week and then Wednesday the following week.
Wednesday the following week. Okay. All right. Don't let Peggy get hot.
Nope.
Peggy gets hot. We start cranking out these interviews, and next thing you know, we're climbing up the charts. All right. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Well.